deadly accident.
Very sad day for us here at the refinery.
The nation's largest crane collapses.
It's a dangerous business.
A man who witnessed the terrifying moments tells us what happened.
Our hearts and prayers certainly go out to the families.
And what we've learned.
On July 18, 2008, a Versa crane TC 36000 collapsed at Houston Refining, causing 4 fatalities and 6 injuries. This presentation will provide the root causes of the collapse and recommendations to prevent a reoccurrence. The incident occurred at Houston Refining in preparation for turnaround work to be performed on a coker unit. In order to do the turnaround work, a Versa crane, one of the largest mobile cranes in the world, was needed in order to perform a lift. Deep South Crane and Rigging was subcontracted to complete this portion of the work. The Versa crane TC 36000 was chosen for this turnaround because of its ability to lift heavy loads at long radii and still have the ability to swing in close quarters. This crane has completed 14 jobs in its 8-year career with no prior incidents. Key operating parts of the Versa crane are main boom, mast, and auxiliary counterweight platform. On July 18, 2008, a Deep South crew consisting of the crane operator, the superintendent, and several riggers were in the final phases of a 3-week crane assembly process in preparation for the actual lift. In particular, the crew was in the process of attaching pendant bars from the mast to the auxiliary counterweight platform. This activity is considered a routine operation and not part of the actual lift. During any operation of the crane, the superintendent and the crane operator work together in that the superintendent relays instructions to the operator for any crane movement. While working at high boom angles with the Versa crane TC 36000, it is possible for the crane to be placed into overhaul. This is a condition whereby the weight of the boom and its attachments will cause the boom to fall in an undesired direction. The crane operator has a predefined overhaul chart that is consulted prior to each operation. For the crane configuration on July 18, 2008, the overhaul chart indicated that the minimum safe operating radius of the boom was 120 feet. This crane requires 2 operators, a superintendent who supervises work from the ground, and an operator positioned in the crane cab. On the morning of the incident, the superintendent had 2 separate conversations with the operator to discuss the overhaul chart. Given that the chart indicated a minimum safe radius of 120 feet, the superintendent instructed the operator to not allow the boom within 150 feet, providing an extra safety margin. Subsequent to the event, the crane's owner Deep South verified the overhaul chart used and calculated that the chart includes a safety factor taking wind into account. With this factor removed, the overhaul position reduces to 110 feet. In addition, Houston Refining hired Becht Engineering to determine the crane's point of instability, defined as when the mast and boom fall backwards due to unbalanced forces. This angle was calculated to be 77.4 degrees or a minimum radius of 97.1 feet. The overhaul chart indicated the minimum safe operating radius was 120 feet, and Becht has calculated that the point of instability is 97.1 feet. Houston Refining has several security video cameras, and the event was captured on 3 of them. Analysis of the video indicates that at approximately 10:49 a.m., the boom was positioned at a 108-foot radius, less than the overhaul chart minimum. The boom was operated less than 120 foot from this time until the incident. Just prior to the incident, the boom was positioned at approximately 95 feet, a point less than the calculated instability point. A joint investigation between Lyondell, the general turnaround contractor, Wyatt Field Services, and the subcontractor Deep South was conducted using Apollo root cause methodology. The primary root cause of the event is that the crane was placed in an overhaul position less than the 120 feet recommended by the overhaul chart and operated to less than 97.1 feet, the point of instability. The second root cause is that in previous lifts, the Versa crane has been operated with the auxiliary counterweight platform at a radius of less than 100 feet, usually 95 feet. This was the first lift in the crane's history to have the auxiliary counterweight platform at 105 feet from the center line of the crane. This is significant because the boom travels in conjunction with the mast. As the mast is positioned the additional 10 feet, The boom can move between 15 to 30 feet depending on its starting position. It is also significant because the starting boom radius was not verified by tape as Deep South's usual practice. The boom was moved and operated in an overhaul position. The hazard associated with operating an overhaul is understood by the superintendent and crane operators. However, in this instance, the overhaul was not recognized by either one.